I always thought betrayal had a smell, like burnt toast or cheap cologne. Turns out it smells exactly like your best friend's cologne, on your wife's neck. My name's Carter, 37, former accountant, former husband, former idiot. 3 months ago I thought I had it all. A decent job, a house in the suburbs of Portland, and a wife, Natalie, who still kissed me on the forehead every morning like we were in some Netflix rom-com no one asked for. And then there was Joel. Joel had been my best friend since high school. He was the kind of guy who always showed up with beer, a grin, and just enough charm to make every mom within a 10-foot radius blush. You know the type. The kind you trust around your dog, your secrets, and unfortunately, your wife. Looking back, the signs were obvious, like how Joel started showing up even when I wasn't home, or how Natalie laughed just a little too loud at his jokes, the same tired ones I'd heard since senior year. I didn't want to believe it, because believing it meant I was the fool, and no one likes being the fool in their own life story. But fools fall, and I fell hard the day I came home early from work. I wasn't supposed to be there. A fire drill at the office sent me home around 11 a.m. I figured I'd surprise Natalie with lunch. Turns out she already had lunch plans, with Joel, in our bed. There's a specific kind of silence that comes with walking in on betrayal. It's not quiet, it's loud, like static in your ears and a drum in your chest, she screamed. Joel looked like a deer caught cheating on its taxes. I didn't say a word. I just stood there, holding a Chick-fil-A bag like an idiot. Natalie tried the usual, "It's not what it looks like." I almost laughed. Almost. Joel muttered something about being sorry, which meant absolutely nothing, considering he still had my wife's bra in his hand. I walked out without throwing a punch. That was mistake number 1. Because what came next was so much worse than betrayal. It was calculated. A week later, I started noticing things. Natalie got weird, like Lifetime movie weird. Suddenly, she was keeping a diary out in the open, a diary that just happened to mention how Carter's been angry lately, and sometimes he scares me. Funny. She never said that while riding my best friend, like a stolen bike. Then Joel started dropping hints, asking mutual friends if I was okay, telling them he was worried about Carter's mental state. By week 2, I found out someone filed a police report. Anonymously, of course. Said I'd been making threats, that I'd talked about hurting Natalie, that I was unstable. Let me make this clear. I've been called boring. I've been called predictable. But violent, that's a new one. I didn't get arrested, but I got a visit. 2 cops, real friendly, real suspicious. "Just checking in," they said. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just an affair. It was a setup. Natalie and Joel weren't just screwing me behind my back. They were trying to screw me over entirely. If they could make it look like I was dangerous, Natalie could file a restraining order. Joel could move in. They could live happily ever after, while I rotted behind bars for a crime I didn't commit. Now, here's the part where most people would panic, cry, call a lawyer, maybe flee to Mexico. Me? I got quiet. Because quiet men make the loudest noise when they strike back. I played along. I smiled at Natalie, told her I wanted to work on things. She smiled back, smug as hell. She thought she was winning. Joel stopped showing his face, probably too busy helping her plan my downfall from the comfort of my bedsheets. But me? I was planning something else. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and I was about to serve them, both an ice bath. They wanted to frame me. Fine, I'd give them something to frame, but not in the way they expected. Let me tell you something about people who think they're clever. They usually aren't. And the moment they think they've won, That's when they're most vulnerable. Natalie and Joel had it all figured out. I was supposed to lose it. Yell, snap, maybe throw a lamp or punch a wall. Something to make the unhinged husband narrative believable. But I didn't give them that. Instead, I gave them brunch. I suggested we talk things through like adults. Natalie was skeptical, but not enough to say no. She still thought I was weak, desperate, pathetic, perfect. We met at a sunny little place with overpriced avocado toast and waiters named Skylar. She wore sunglasses and fake guilt. I wore a calm smile and a hidden recorder. She ordered a mimosa. I ordered justice, slow brewed and ice cold. You know, I said, buttering a croissant I had no intention of eating. I've been thinking, a lot. Maybe we both made mistakes. She perked up at that. Of course she did. Because when a guilty person hears forgiveness, they mistake it for submission. I'm not proud of everything I did either, I continued. I might have been distant, cold, maybe even scary. There it was, a flicker of excitement in her eyes. She leaned in and said the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Well, maybe you should get help before you hurt someone. Bingo. That was what I needed. Her voice, her words. On tape, suggesting I was dangerous. Trying to build a case with soft threats and fake concern. We talked for 30 more minutes. And by talked, I mean she monologued like a Bond villain who forgot she wasn't in control. When we parted ways, she kissed me on the cheek. Gross, but necessary. That night I uploaded the audio to a burner drive. Then I started digging. See, the one upside of being an accountant is I know how to find things people want to hide. Natalie had always been sloppy with passwords. And Joel? He once told me his dog's name was his pin. Idiot. By the end of the week I had screenshots of texts between them mocking me. A calendar event Natalie titled, Make Him Snap. A shared note they forgot to delete that literally said, and I quote, Once Carter freaks out, I'll go to the police. You be my witness. Wait a few weeks, then we're free. You ever read something so dumb it makes you stronger? Yeah. That was me. I printed everything. Multiple copies. Saved backups in the cloud, a USB and one hidden inside a fake deodorant stick, because paranoia is just preparation with better branding. But I wasn't done. If they wanted to destroy me with lies, I'd destroy them with the truth and some creative assistance. Enter Travis. Travis was a guy I met at the gym. Big, tattooed. Looked like he'd been kicked out of Fight Club for being too into it. He owed me a favor. Long story. I asked him to do one thing. Scare Joel. Nothing illegal. Just a little performance. Travis followed Joel home one night. Didn't say a word. Just stared, smiled, cracked his knuckles once, then walked away. Next morning, Joel calls Natalie, panicked. I think Carter hired someone. I think he's gonna do something. And guess what Natalie did? She texted me, Did you send someone after Joel? And I, being the model citizen I am, replied, What are you talking about? Now she was nervous, and nervous people make mistakes, so I pushed it further. I left a single rose on her car. Then I called her later and said, Funny thing about roses, they bleed when you cut them. Wrong. Poetic? Sure. Creepy? Definitely. Illegal? Not even close. But effective? You bet your guilty little soul it was. By the end of the week, Natalie was crying to a lawyer, trying to file for a restraining order, claiming I was unhinged, dangerous, unstable. But when she showed up in court, so did I, with a binder full of texts, emails, audio clips, calendar events, shared notes, and Joel's signature stupidity. All time-stamped, all clean, all damning. The judge looked at her, then looked at me. "Ma'am," he said slowly, "you're aware filing a false police report and attempting to frame someone for a crime is a felony, right?" She didn't answer. Joel wasn't there. Smart. Cowardly but smart. She walked out of that courtroom white as a ghost and shaking like a leaf in a hurricane. But I wasn't done. See, this wasn't about clearing my name anymore. This was about consequences. And I had one last card to play. You ever stand at the edge of a cliff and feel nothing? No fear, no thrill, just peace. That's what revenge feels like when it's earned. Natalie thought it was over. She thought a slap on the wrist from the judge and a few misunderstood intentions would make it all disappear. But I wasn't interested in justice. I was interested in consequences. And karma. Karma needed a personal assistant. So I volunteered. First I called her boss. Natalie worked at a private real estate firm. You know the type. High commissions, zero integrity. I sent him a friendly email. Attached were transcripts of her messages to Joel, especially the one where she said, "If Carter ends up in jail, I'm cashing out and we're moving to Aruba." Turns out employers don't love the idea of their agents getting arrested for conspiracy. She was fired by noon. Second, I paid a visit to Joel's wife. Yeah, Joel was married. Her name was Heather. Sweet woman, too trusting. The kind of person who bakes cookies for PTA meetings and believes in essential oils. I knocked on her door with a USB and a sad smile. "Hi, I'm Carter. I think we need to talk." We sat down. I didn't dramatize, didn't cry. I just handed her the drive and said, "Start with the folder labeled, 'They Think I'm Stupid.'" She listened. Watched. Didn't blink much. Halfway through, she muttered, "He told me you were dangerous." I smiled. "Not to you." She nodded, then whispered, "Do you want coffee or a shovel?" Now, I don't endorse violence. But Heather? She didn't throw hands, she threw paperwork. Divorce filed. Frozen assets. Joint bank account. Closed. Joel was officially homeless within a week. And just when you think the finale's coming, I added an encore. See, Natalie and Joel thought they were going to start fresh. New city, new names, but not with clean credit. Remember what I said about being an accountant? I knew all the right wires to pull. I filed reports with the IRS, exposed undeclared income from freelance commissions Natalie never disclosed. Reported Joel's fake consulting company, which was really just a money laundering gig for his poker habit. Within 3 months? Audits, fines, debt. They couldn't rent a broom closet, and then I released everything, not under my name, of course, but a beautifully edited, anonymous blog called How to Frame Your Husband, a Modern Love Story. Screenshots, voice clips, chat logs, even a cute little timeline graphic. It went viral. By Monday, it was trending on Reddit. By Tuesday, it was featured on a YouTube channel called Trash Crimes and Spicy Lies. Natalie tried to sue. She claimed emotional distress. I sent her lawyer a single sentence. "Discovery will be so fun." They dropped it, but I still wasn't done. One final act. My Mona Lisa. I invited Natalie to meet at a coffee shop. Neutral ground. Broad daylight. She came, out of desperation, I think, or maybe morbid curiosity. She sat down, eyes hollow, hair messy. Gone was the confident woman who once plotted my downfall over champagne and dirty talk. "Why are you doing this?" she asked. I sipped my drink. Vanilla latte, 2 sugars. "I'm not," I said. "You did this." I lost everything. Leaned in. "No, you bet everything and you lost. There's a difference." Then I handed her a small envelope. Inside, a single photo of Joel, working the night shift at a gas station in Ohio. She She blinked. I made sure you two ended up together, I said. She looked at me like I was a demon, and maybe I was. But I walked away with clean hands, no crimes, no charges, just consequences. Natalie and Joel disappeared after that. Last I heard, she was working at a diner in Idaho. Joel drives a Lyft. They still blame me for everything, but here's the thing. You can't destroy someone who's already been broken. They thought I was soft, predictable, a man who loved too. Much to fight back, but I didn't fight back. I fought forward, and now I sleep just fine. No nightmares, no guilt, just the hum of justice and the satisfaction of knowing. They tried to bury me, but I wasn't a corpse. I was a seed.